Even Hollywood's biggest blockbusters have embarrassing mistakes that somehow made it to theaters. From stormtroopers hitting their heads to plastic babies in serious dramas, these movie bloopers became legendary. Today, I'm revealing the most shocking movie mistakes in your favorite films. It's going to be interesting and definitely informative. This is Fade In Channel. Let's go! Star Wars. One of the most famous bloopers in cinema history occurs in Star Wars, Episode 4, A New Hope, when a stormtrooper accidentally hits their head on a doorframe while entering the Death Star control room. The actor, Laurie Good, was genuinely surprised to discover that this take made it into the final cut of the film. Director George Lucas liked the moment so much that he later enhanced it with a sound effect, a distinct thunk.
Take over.
In subsequent re-releases to draw attention to the humorous mistake. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Hogwarts is supposed to be a muggle-free school, but a member of the film crew managed to sneak a camera into the shot. During the duel scene between Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy in the Grey Hall, a man with a bulky movie camera can be seen in the background for a moment, probably thinking he was out of sight, perhaps imagining he was under an invisibility cloak. The crew member was quickly spotted by eagle-eyed viewers. By the way, everything you didn't know about the Harry Potter films can be found in my recent video. I'll leave the link below the video. American Sniper, a biographical war drama directed by Clint Eastwood, was highly praised by critics and audiences, earning 6 Academy Award nominations and winning 1 for Best Sound Editing. Despite its acclaim, the film wasn't without flaws. One scene stood out to viewers. Chris Kyle, played by Bradley Cooper, is seen holding and interacting with a noticeably plastic doll instead of a real infant. In this serious drama, the obvious prop distracted audiences and sparked criticism. Film critic Dave Karger argued that the plastic baby undermined the film's chances of winning in its other 5 Oscar categories, claiming it ruined the movie's immersion. Screenwriter Jason Hall addressed the controversy, explaining that the first baby scheduled for the scene arrived with a fever and the second baby failed to show up, leaving the production team no choice but to use the doll as a last-minute substitute. Pretty Woman. Mistakes in the sequence of scenes often occur in movies, and Pretty Woman is a good example of this. In the breakfast scene, Julia Roberts' character Vivian picks up a croissant and takes a bite. A moment later, when the camera returns to her, she's biting into a pancake. In the next shot, she takes another bite of the same piece. This leads to possibilities. Either Vivian is so hungry that she is trying everything on the table, or the directors made a mistake in the sequence. And if you want to see the second part of this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and write in the comments which movie blooper from this video surprised you the most, or any other comment in support of this video. Oppenheimer. Even Best Picture winners like Oppenheimer can have apparent mistakes. In one scene, a crowd cheers for J. Robert Oppenheimer when waving American flags bearing 50 stars. However, in 1945, when the scene is set, the US flag had only 48 stars. Some fans speculate that director Christopher Nolan included this anachronism deliberately, as the film is framed as Oppenheimer's recollection from a later time, possibly reflecting a future perspective where the 50-star flag was standard. Casino. Martin Scorsese's cult classic Casino, ranked 143rd on IMDb's top 250 films, features a small but noticeable error. In the scene where Sam Ace Rothstein's car explodes, a brief shot just before the blast shows De Niro replaced by an obviously unrealistic mannequin. This kind of mistake isn't unique in Hollywood, as working with dummies is challenging and requires extreme precision and professionalism to avoid breaking the film's immersion. Pulp Fiction, directed by Quentin Tarantino, intentionally plays with time, presenting events out of chronological order. However, this doesn't explain a continuity error in the scene where Jules and Vincent confront Brett in his apartment. Bullet holes are visible on the wall behind them before the fourth man, hiding in the bathroom, emerges and fires his gun. While this could be a clever narrative trick in a film like Tenet, where time inversion allows bullets to move backward, in Pulp Fiction, it's simply a small mistake in the sequence of shooting and editing the scene. Gladiator. Ridley Scott's epic Gladiator immerses viewers in ancient Rome, but some modern slip-ups break the illusion. During a Colosseum battle, when a chariot crashes, a gas canister is briefly visible underneath, an anachronistic prop used to power the vehicle. This isn't the only oversight. Eagle-eyed fans have spotted extras wearing modern jeans, a crew member with a contemporary camera filming the gladiatorial fights, and another drinking from a plastic water bottle. These gaffes jokingly suggest the Romans were far more advanced than history credits them for. The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. Frodo and Sam embark on a perilous journey across Middle-earth to destroy the One Ring in Mount Doom. Early in their adventure, a modern car is briefly visible in the background, driving along a dirt road and kicking up dust. Had Frodo and Sam hitched a ride, the entire trilogy might have been condensed into a single film. This anachronistic blooper was later removed from subsequent releases of the movie, including DVD and Blu-ray editions. Braveheart, directed by and starring Mel Gibson, is set in the late 13th century, chronicling William Wallace's rebellion against the tyranny of English King Edward I. Despite its epic scope, the film includes a notable blooper. During a scene where warriors march to the front line, a white car is briefly visible parked in the background, an anachronism suggesting someone was late to the battle. Additionally, while Braveheart earned an Oscar nomination for Best Costume Design, it contains a historical error. Scottish warriors in the 13th century did not wear kilts, which emerged centuries later. Another subtle mistake is an extra wearing a modern baseball cap, further clashing with the period setting. Fast and Furious. You probably think that we are going to talk about cars again, but that's not the case. Just like in the movie Pretty Woman, there's a sequence of shots that raises questions. When Trent arrives at the race, he is wearing a black t-shirt. But before the race itself, he is already sitting in the car wearing a black tank top. Apparently, he got too hot and decided to change clothes in a second. In general, the Fast and Furious film series could be the subject of an entire documentary on movie mistakes based on the franchise's disregard for the laws of physics, such as the ambush runway in the 6th installment, or the moment when Brian pulls an imaginary handbrake to make a spectacular turn. Yes, you are not mistaken. There is only air there. North by Northwest. Alfred Hitchcock's film, released in 1959, had many problems. Many of the extras at that time were not professional actors and received only small fees for their work, so it is not surprising that the young actors were particularly inexperienced. In one scene of the film, the main character, played by Cary Grant, is threatened with a gun, and before the shot is fired, we see a guy covering his ears as if he were a prophet, predicting what will happen next, sitting with his back to the scene, killing the suspense for observant viewers. The Last Samurai. In Edward Zwick's historical drama, The Last Samurai, there's a moment where Captain Nathan dismounts from his horse in front of his soldiers. During this scene, a horse accidentally kicks one of the extras. Remarkably, the soldier takes the hit like a true champion, quickly returning to formation without hesitation. James Bond Quantum of Solace. If we're talking about extras, we should mention a scene from this film in which the role of a cleaner proved too difficult for an extra. While watching Bond on the pier, one of the extras was supposed to sweep the pier, but for some reason, he swept about 30 centimeters above the ground, imitating the work of a schoolboy who had come out to clean up. Perhaps this happened because the sound of sweeping created too much noise during filming, but of course the extra could have swept closer to the ground. Pirates of the Caribbean. There is also a funny moment in this film that only the most attentive viewers noticed a humorous blooper. For just a second, behind Jack Sparrow on the pirate ship, you can see a member of the film crew wearing a cowboy hat, glasses, and a white t-shirt, which clearly stands out against the background of other actors in authentic costumes. Either this guy is traveling through time, or he is a pirate belle. Take Cowboys. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. In Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie Bucket finds a golden ticket inside a Wonka chocolate bar by opening it from the front side. However, in an earlier scene, Willy Wonka is shown placing the golden tickets on the backside of the chocolate bars during production. How the ticket mysteriously moved inside the bar remains a delightful enigma. In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, a seemingly simple scene of a train arriving at a station caused significant challenges for the crew. Unable to capture the perfect shot of the train's arrival, director John Hughes opted to film the train departing the station and then reverse the footage to create the illusion of it arriving. However, the cinematographer overlooked a passenger walking toward the station in the shot. As a result of the reversal, the passenger appears to walk backward away from the station, creating a humorous and noticeable blooper. Ninja Turtles. The costumes designed by Jim Henson for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 were groundbreaking for their time, bringing the beloved characters to life with remarkable realism. However, in a film primarily aimed at kids, One moment stands out as unintentionally unsettling. During a scene where Donatello laughs enthusiastically, the mouth of his costume opens wide enough to reveal the teeth and eyes of the actor inside, creating a startling glimpse that could spook younger viewers. Django Unchained. In Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained, set in 1858, Django wears sunglasses that seem out of place. While tinted lenses existed as early as the 12th century for protection or medical use, modern sunglasses as a fashion accessory weren't widely available until the 1920s, with mass production beginning in 1929 by Sam Foster. This raises the question of how they ended up in the film. Perhaps a deliberate stylistic choice by Tarantino, or did a time traveler deliver them? Dallas Buyers Club. The set decorators of Dallas Buyers Club thought it would be a cool touch to hang a massive poster of a 2011 Lamborghini Aventador on the wall in Ron Woodruff's office. After all, Ron would cover it with his body in the scene. However, eagle-eyed viewers didn't miss this glaring anachronism, as the film's events are set in 1985, 26 years before the Aventador even existed. Titanic. A popular fan theory suggests that Jack Dawson in Titanic is a time traveler sent to the ship to prevent Rose from jumping overboard. This theory stems from Jack's story to Rose about ice fishing with his father as a child on Lake Wissota, saying, "When I was a kid, my father took me ice fishing on Lake Wissota." Lake Wissota, a man-made reservoir in Wisconsin, was created in 1917, 5 years after the Titanic sank in 1912. Fans jokingly call this a classic time traveler's mistake. In reality, director James Cameron overlooked this detail in the script, leading to the amusing theory. Which movie mistake shocked you the most? Drop your favorite blooper in the comments, hit like if you missed any of these, and subscribe for more cinema secrets. This is Fade In. See you next time.